Hey folks, what's going on? Welcome to Coach Gav Live, episode 85. With me, your host, Coach Gav from Kildare Strength and Fitness. So today, super special day. It's the end of our 21-day challenge, the Get Over Myself challenge set by Morty in our Unstoppable Alliance program. And it's also a pretty cool day because it's also my 4-year anniversary of attending Changing the Game fitness business event over in Las Vegas 4 years ago today. Obviously, because it was a 4-year anniversary. How long ago could it be? So today is going to be a little bit of a recap of the last 4 years. Now, I'm not going to go through kind of blow by blow everything that happened in the last 4 years. That would take a while. But what I want to do is give you kind of the cliff notes of it. The moral of the story is this: we're still here, we're still standing, we're growing, we're learning, we're getting better. And how we are now in KSF is how I saw it to be. So let's go back 4 years. So Changing the Game was the first ever fitness business event hosted by Travis Jones, Luca Hossover, and Steve Krebs, aka The Pack. So I managed to win my place at the conference. I just had to cover flights, some of my accommodation, and my spends and that kind of stuff. And it was literally the event that changed my life. Up until that point, I knew I wanted to do something in fitness. And as time went on, the more I worked in fitness, the more I saw the gaps that were there and the need or the want to have my own facility. Because I thought that having my own facility, I could create a system and a rule set that would allow me to train a niche or a section of people that just weren't being taken care of by, fitness centers and legislators. I mean, remember, this is going back 5-6 years. So this was long before, every second warehouse unit was being turned into a gym. We were kind of getting in on the crest of the wave before it took off. So again, managed to win my spot at the event, went over, and that was kind of where I met so many of the contacts and the relationships I have now. Shared a room with Maddie Carlin, my roomie. Maddie runs the Gym Yamba down in New South Wales in Australia. Me and Maddie are tight like that, and he is one of my go-to people for advice. Maddie is no bullshit, and he keeps me grounded. And again, we got to share that event together, and we got to kind of, like I said, we were roommates for the 4 days and everything as well. Met Facci over there. Obviously I ended up meeting Martin Rooney getting to know Martin Rooney from Training for Warriors. That's where we ended up kind of going and getting qualified and becoming affiliated with them. Then I went the second year. That's where I met Logan, met Maddie Prince. Jesus Christ, the list goes on. Ivan Berra, Dan John, there's a whole host of, just a whole host of it. So a lot of people you'll see me kind of mention or reference on any of these videos or on any of our posts and pages. I probably met them at that event. And it was huge. It was literally a game changer for me. It didn't give me the idea of my own gym. It gave me the kind of the backbone or the balls to kind of go, why not me? And I think that's what so many people lack. Is obviously my goal here was obviously open a facility. Your goal might be different. It's probably losing weight, getting stronger, changing your life, changing your habits, changing career, whatever it may be. Relationship, anything. And that's what I want you to remember the whole way through this particular video, is that when I reference anything to do with the gym, the version of it for you would be something in your life in that area. So unless you are already also opening up a gym, and by all means, take the ideas. So ultimately what had happened, so again, and it's cool because I looked back and that event not just changed my life, it changed a lot of lives. When I came back from that event, I reached out to a client of mine at the time who I was looking at becoming the financial backer for my idea for the gym at the time. And then so myself and Paddy Tierney, we kind of got involved with each other and that kind of stuff. We were going to work towards together. That plan didn't work out for me personally, but it worked out for Paddy and the guys in Industrial Fitness. So out of my trip to Vegas and my conversations with people when I came home, that kind of started that ball rolling, and then the guys just took off and have made a fantastic thing out of it themselves. So, and all these kind of different things. And like I said, so then I went and did it myself, and which was great. But it was also kind of pretty, like, I started writing down like a whole list of things that didn't go well. And the reality is none of that actually fucking matters, because I could fill maybe 3 or 4 pages of things that haven't gone well over the last 3 years. And it doesn't matter, because the things, I might only fill 1 page of things that have gone well, but those things are so powerful, they would outnumber, or they would outweigh the bad things. And also, by constantly going on about what hasn't gone well for you, you bring that baggage forward with you. So it's nice for me to have left that in the past. And that's why I kind of stopped it, because as I was writing down all the things that didn't go well, it was just a reminder, it was bring me back to those times of, you know, when things were tight and things were tough. And look, starting any business is tough. You know, starting any new nutrition plan, starting any new training plan, starting any new change to your lifestyle, your habit, that's going to be fucking tough. So making changes is tough. Let's just accept that. That is your, you know, that is your entry price to play the game. Okay, so playing the game you want to play to change your life, lose weight, change your shape, change your health, improve your life. Okay, effort is part of the minimum payment. Okay, so, and as time went on, like, we made so many mistakes early on. You know, just fucking, you name it, we fucking did it. And like I said, I've amassed, you know, a decent amount of debt, and I've loaned off pretty much everyone I know. It didn't have, like, my depression and anxiety flared up then as well. And it ultimately, all the things that went wrong, you know, again, you know, relationship issues, parenting issues, I wasn't really a pleasant person to be around. You notice, as my skin, it's not too bad today. Look back in our old videos from 3-4 years ago, it was a fucking mess. And that's just how stress was showing up basically on me, physically in my face. So I wouldn't change what's gone on in the past, because everything there had a lesson, and I take those lessons with me now. And you obviously have a past too, I'm going to assume, okay? And your past is fine. You may not like it, but your past, it is what it is. Take the lesson from it and go forward with it. So if you've tried to lose weight before, and well, this bit worked, but this bit didn't work, okay, keep the bit that worked, and just get rid of the stuff that didn't work. Or you try to get fit or get in shape or change your habits before, and, you know, if it's not worked, then why are you going back and repeating your old ways? And kind of that's what kind of gradually had happened for us, where we had started off, we were making loads of mistakes, and then gradually we were kind of honing in and making less and less and less, to now we're at the stage where, you know, like peeling back an onion. Now we're at the stage where, yeah, we still make mistakes. I make mistakes every fucking day. But we're still, you know, they're less costly mistakes. You know, we had this huge, wild, varying swings on, like, things would go really well and things would go really shit. And one thing I found, and this is probably quite ironic, is that when things went well, I stopped putting in the effort. But things were going well because I put in the effort. And you might see that too, like with weight loss or with nutrition, is that, you know, you do well, then you take your foot off the gas, and then things stop going well. Makes no fucking sense, guys. Stop doing that. If things are going well, keep going with it. If you have the lead in a situation, keep going with it. Make more use of it, okay? And I think the big thing for me is, if you sat me down 4 years ago in Vegas and told me that, okay, here's where you'd be. I knew this would where, I knew something like this is where I would be. I didn't know it would be KSF. I didn't know it would be on Dawson Street, Newbridge. I didn't know I did know it would be black and yellow though. I had a thing for the colours. I didn't know what it was. And we had one facility in Tokers, and then we moved to a bigger place. I thought it was a better location. Turned out it wasn't. It was too big for our model. Now we've moved here to Dawson Street, and things are going really well. It's a better facility for our style of business then as well. We tried being like, you know, this style of training, that didn't work. We tried training this type of people, that didn't work. But over the years, and like kind of we kind of, you know, we definitely kept what worked. So that's what I would say to you, is that, you know, it could be real easy for you to focus on what hasn't worked. And we as people like to focus on what hasn't worked, because it allows us to keep living the story, keep living the lie, keep living the excuses as to why we're not where we want to be in life, or why we're not making that effort. And not funnily enough, when I started to kind of clear away the bullshit and started to really knuckle down and put in more dedicated effort, that's when things started to get really better. When I started to realize, okay, well, we do this thing as people where we hide or we put our heads in the sand. Like, I mean, there was a time went by where I couldn't tell you how much we were due to make each month or what bills were coming out or when it was. We were flying by the seat of our pants and it was fucking horrendous. And looking back now, you do kind of go, oh, Jesus, how did we fucking survive? But we survived. And that's it. So before we can thrive, before we can excel, before we can be top of the mountain, there is a survival, just get her done segment of it. And you're going to have that with training, nutrition, and changing your life. There is a part of that journey where it is just survival. It's grinding it out. It's just gritting and doing the work. Doing the work when you don't really feel like it, when your motivation is non-existent, but you know, well, I need to do this thing because this is the thing that gets me there. And like I said, I wouldn't change a single thing. And it's horrendous. Like I said, I've built up a lot of financial bills, but I know they will clear over time. I've damaged relationships over the years. They will repair themselves over time too as well with a bit of work. I've missed out on, holidays and things like that. Yep, that's fine too. You'll go on more things in the future. And there's lots of things that I lost that kind of, and that's the price we pay as well. There is, in that little box that makes it the price we pay to pursue our goals in life, there is certain things that happen. But there's necessary sacrifice, there's necessary, because everything is a choice, everything's a decision. You're picking A over B or over C or whatever. So you kind of, by choosing one thing, you're not choosing others. So, and I think that's kind of where, we're trying to kind of be a little of everything. So whatever you're trying to do is definitely possible. And no matter what went on over the 4 years, I've never, and there was, I'd say maybe half a dozen times where we came very, very legitimately, realistically close to closing down. And, yeah, it's scary, but they were wake-up calls. They were a slap in the face saying, okay, you're about to lose everything you've worked for. So you can either knuckle down and fight for it, or you can keep doing this bullshit routine and let it slip out of your hands. And kind of 2017 was the start of our turnaround. I left the Training for Warriors affiliate. It wasn't for me, and there's two sides to that situation. But look, it wasn't for me. More power to them. And I just wanted to go in a different direction with what I was doing. Then I got involved with AJ Roberts for a bit of his coaching, and it was, again, AJ, helped. We stripped everything right back to AJ, who's someone I met at Changing the Game as well. I got to know AJ through that. And, kind of that was, like I said, that was the catalyst, or that was a part of the catalyst. 2017 was that real turnaround year and just knuckled down. There was just, and ultimately, AJ's up there, Morty, there are two people that outside of my family and outside of our members here, I would put a lot of kind of thanks and support with for helping get me to the place where I am, to get this place where it is now. And, ultimately though, it's effort, because you put in the effort. And that's kind of I don't do great with compliments in here because it makes me feel awkward. I don't get me wrong, I love them. I love, who doesn't love compliments? But like when people go on about, oh, I've achieved this, ultimately, I just come up with the programming and put it together and give you guys the accountability and support to go and do it. So when members here achieve the results, that's because of the work they have or haven't put in. So, they deserve the praise. As much as they deserve the blame, they absolutely deserve every ounce of the praise that goes with it. So, again, it's kind of like, so that was where the turnaround was. It was just, really understanding what we wanted. And we touched on that in the previous video. Are the goals you're going after goals you actually give a fuck about? Or are they just things you kind of want? And again, over the last 4 years, I've been guilty of that. I've been guilty of pursuing courses or affiliations with things that I thought would look well, or that I kind of oh, well, this person's involved in it, so I want to be involved in it. And then as time went on, I took a step back and looked at it from kind of 10,000 feet in the air and was like, oh, okay, that's not actually what I want to do. So when I started looking in the mirror and less out the window, remember that from the other day, I started to see, well, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to build and do? And as I started to kind of hone in and zone in on that, we started to go with it. And then it's just been all kind of coming together piece by piece by piece, like a big jigsaw. And you know I love the story of the jigsaw. Get your edges right, get your corners right, and then slowly piece it together bit by bit by bit. Each piece is as important and as vital as the next. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And as the pieces come together, the bigger picture becomes clearer. So, like, we've not fluked what we're doing here. It's not by accident, okay? There's grit and determination and, you know, a little bit of luck. We've been quite fortunate, you know. I have hands down the best support network around. My family are unbelievable. Probably should maybe show them that a little more often. I've got incredible friends with me. I have a brutal battery life on my phone though. So I'm gonna wrap up here because I don't want to lose the video. This is definitely a topic we'll come back to. Whatever you're trying to achieve, you can do it. Just make sure you're well equipped with the right plan. And if I went back now, or if someone I knew was trying to set up a gym now, that's what I would say to them. Get a better budget, get a better plan, action it more often, and, you know, just action every day. And that will never fail you because that's what's gone here. And realistically, whatever goal you're trying to work on, you know, training, nutrition wise, you don't have to, it's not life or death. You know, now look, this isn't life or death either, but if this place goes tits up, you know, okay, I need to go look for a job. You know, this is how I pay bills and make a living and things like that as well. So, but when it comes to our health and nutrition, you know, most of us, 98% of us, aren't making a living off of it. So we already know, okay, well, so it should be fun, it should be enjoyable. And yes, it takes hard work and effort, but you're only dedicating 30, 45, 60 minutes a day to that particular thing. So just get stuck into it. I'm off, folks, before the phone dies. I will talk to you tomorrow. Take it easy. God bless.